Hello Reformers and welcome back to A World of Ice and Fire. Now, when we left off, we had made contact with House Targaryen and we are going to be doing a little bit of, shall we say, just say management, kingdom management basically. And that is obviously going to take up a bit of time, but then I'm hopeful that I will be able to make my way all the way over to Free Folk lands and finally get married to Wanda, because that is obviously something that I've been meaning to do for quite some time. Anyway, as you can see, we have a whole bunch of companions in here. They're making it very difficult for me to move around. Probably should have told them to hold position somewhere in a corner, but nobody puts Dongo in a corner, that's for sure. Anyway, let us now sell all of my prisoners. 38,000. Oh yes, fantastic. Yeah, so main things that you should probably know in my off-screen time. I finally found a piece of velvet. Yes, I finally found a piece of velvet, and I think it was over in Dawn that I found this, or was it... oh, it might be Stormlands. I don't know either way. Found the velvet. That's all that matters, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving my court over here and establishing Volantis as our main base. There you go. Fantastic. So that now means that Hibald, who is our wonderfully useless minister, yeah, he's going to be coming over and joining us in the Lord's Hall. Now, otherwise, what I've done is I've made someone else Marshal, because I do not want to be Marshal any further. You know, I want to let everyone else do their own thing. And I made Shadrick. Shadrick is the Marshal now, so hopefully he's going to be good at that. And otherwise, what else have I done? Well, I went to Cohor and I recruited another 50 Unsullied because I thought, why not? You know, it might make sense for us to do that. I have a whole bunch of units in the garrison here, as you can see, and we do have quite a few prisoners still, but it didn't seem worth it for me to take all of them because there's only about, what, 20, 30 there, so it doesn't really make much sense. Otherwise, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking our spies, of course. I actually have a number of people in here already because I wanted to increase my prisoner management, because I was taking a whole 155 prisoners out of the garrison here to sell, of course. And what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be traveling over to Free Folk lands, and I'm going to try and see if I can speak to the Weeper, who is, of course, Wanda's father, and maybe we'll get ourselves a bit of a marriage. That would be really pretty awesome, but to be able to do that, I'm going to need to swap a lot of units out here, because I do not want to take every single one of these units with me. I'd like to try and make it so that we are kind of fast, but not too fast. You know, just fast enough. And we're just going to put our Unsullied there, archers there, cavalry there. We have about, a decent amount of cavalry, decent amount of infantry, and decent amount of archers. Pretty nice. We have 296 total, and we will now be heading on over to the Free Folk. Alright, so I have arrived in Free Folk lands. Now, obviously, because we're all the way down in Volantis, in Essos, it has taken me a long time to get here, and my morale has suffered. So what I've needed to do is just wait in towns along the way to try and get my morale back up. And obviously, if I can, try to find some mead and some wine and things like that to try and help our forces. Now, let's have a look. Yes, there we go. May the old gods and the new witness that I'm ready to give you my daughter Wanda to have in marriage. And there's Wanda herself. My husband, I hereby pledge to be your wife, to stand with you in good times and bad. May the heavens smile upon us and bless us with children, livestock, and land. I pledge the same. Alright, there we go. Okay, I now declare you and Wanda to be husband and wife. Go now to the chamber prepared for you, and we shall make arrangements for your bride to join you in your hall in Volantis. Ah, and we have our own little ceremony here. Hopefully it's not going to bug out and I'm actually going to, you know... Yes, there we go. We are actually going to have... Is that me? It's been such a... No, wait, that's not me. That's me. There we go. Okay, phew. I was like, wait a minute. It's been such a long time. No, that's the Weeper. That's the Weeper. I'm standing right next to Wanda right there now. That's fantastic. Good job, Elias. Good job. Well, whatever the case, we have now done it. We have now done it, and we now have a wife, which is fantastic. That means I will now be able to head back down to Volantis, and hopefully, well, Wanda is going to join us there. This is kind of a weird occurrence right here. I've returned to Volantis, and you can see Captain Yara Greyjoy. And I don't know why she's... Why is she here? Why is she here? I have no idea. She's been here for a while, I think. So I thought I would, you know, draw attention to that. Anyway, Hibald, hello there. You are an idiot. I don't know why you're still here. What's he doing? What's he doing? Oh well, whatever the case, send a servant to buy some bread for the market. Let us celebrate our love together. Oh, okay. Well, oh wow, how much bread would you like? A lot. Let's get 200. That will only cost us 116. We can afford that. Yes, we can. Let's celebrate our love. I shall have the servants bring us some wine. Our relation with Wanda has increased. Okay, I don't exactly know what that does, but okay. It seems like Hibald actually still has a role to play here, because as you can see, he actually provides us with a number of other options that we would not have otherwise gotten. Because, I mean, you can see here, hire a new staff member. No, that's not going to do anything. Okay, well, that's fantastic. Great. Okay, so, well, what is there to do now? Well, there's actually quite a bit to do, because what I've done is I did send off, of course, Barristan. Sir Barristan, I sent him off to go and speak to Daenerys. Yeah, that's her name. Fantastic. Good. Let me remember our, potential ally, that we're going to be making hopefully soon. Anyway, I sent him off to try and get a non-aggression treaty. He returned very shortly afterwards, actually, and said, yes, Queen Daenerys would like to conclude a non-aggression treaty with us, and that's great. So I accepted that. We gained some right to rule and everything, and then I sent him off to try and get her to acknowledge the fact that I am a monarch, and so on, because apparently I could not do the alliance thing yet. Hopefully I won't need to try and increase our relation with the with House Targaryen before we can get an alliance, but I suppose we'll see. Anyway, point is, what I'm going to be doing now is waiting here for some time, and hopefully Barristan will return with good news. Now what do we have here? Well, Your Grace, at last I've found you. I've returned from my mission to House Targaryen. In general, I would say Queen Daenerys Targaryen of House Targaryen. Yes. Seems to think that King Stumble, Freemont of House Freemont, and she have a common enemy in the Westerlands. In this letter, Queen Daenerys addresses you as Lord, which at least implies some sort of recognition that you're a sovereign and independent monarch. Fantastic. This is great. So that means I will hopefully be able to go in to Hibald here. Yes. Go into him. Thank you. And we are going to speak and say that we would like to dispatch another emissary. Yes, here we go. So this is exactly what we wanted to have happen here. We want to form an alliance. I don't know whether an alliance is actually going to work here, because maybe a defensive pact would be better to do first, but I'm going to try for the big money here. We're going to try for the big money, going to try and get that alliance going as soon as possible. And when we get that alliance going, you know what we're going to do next? We're going to go and kill some Westerlands. Well, Barristan has returned, and, well, cross your fingers. Maybe we're going to be lucky, maybe we're not. Yes, there we go. Alright, so very well. Let this alliance with House Targaryen be concluded. Alright, so there you go. So now House Targaryen has declared war against Dothraki, Tyrosh, Lorath, Lys, and Braavos. It doesn't really make sense for them to be declaring war against the Dothraki, considering they do actually have Dothraki allies and members of their house at the moment. So yeah, that's obviously kind of weird, but anyway, look at this. The fish is now allied with the, well, dragon, kind of. It doesn't really work, but there you go. All right, so fantastic. Even though every single one of these factions has been eliminated. Lys, Lorath, you know, Dothraki and all that stuff. It's a bit weird that they have not been completely removed from the game just yet. Alright, so it looks like we are going to be helping out Theon Greyjoy in his attempt to take Duskendale from the Westerlands. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work, because I've never actually helped any other vassal to do a siege. And let me just tell you, I'm having some difficulties sending spies into enemy fiefs nowadays. I'm actually unsure why that is. I attempted to do this to Norvos when I was passing by there previously, but it doesn't seem to give me the option to send spies for some reason. Don't know why that is. Anyway, plan your assault. What's that going to do? No, that's not going to do anything. Okay, great. Thanks very much for that. Otherwise, we're going to join the next assault. Alright, so this is going to be a, well, you can already see by the battle advantage, we are outnumbering our opponent by no one's business. Oh yes, by a massive margin. But, bear in mind, yeah. Yes. The Crown Lands, as they are known, is having a couple of Dothraki units, and I'm not going to say that they're bad. They're not bad at all, but they are very lightly armored. And them being lightly armored is making things a bit difficult for us, especially considering they are probably going to get killed very quickly indeed. So I'm not entirely sure how we're supposed to deal with that, but I actually have a huge amount of my own units on the battlefield right now. Why do I have my own units here? Why are there not many of Theon's units and whoever else is here? I believe that it's a Dothraki vassal as well. But anyway, how are we getting in here, guys? How are we getting in here? Because seems like those fellows know what's up. They seem to want to go through the front door. And whoa, that guy got murdered. That is not good. Okay, it seems like these fellows actually want to go over this way. So I guess, you know what? I'm just going to follow them, and we're going to see how it goes. But I am currently getting very, very tired, and that is bad. So I will hopefully... Oh no, this is bad. Yes, I will hopefully be able to maybe survive long enough for me to get myself over there. Don't shoot me, please. I'm tired. I'm just taking a bit of a brief rest. Thank you very much. Westerlands crossbowman. Yes, there we go. Okay, my stamina is now high again. I can assume it's going to deplete relatively quickly here. Yes, already on normal. Already on normal. That is not good. Alright, so thankfully, because we outnumber the opponent, we should have no problems at all overwhelming them once we get onto the battlements. Who's that fellow? Dragon Guard. Wait a minute, that's Thoros. That's Thoros. I was like, who's that guy with the flaming sword? And I thought, oh, Dragon Guards? The Dragon Guards have flaming swords? No, they don't. But it was kind of amusing to to think, you know, that they did, because that would be amazing. That would be really, really cool to have them against the White Walkers, that's for sure. Because those guys are coming in soon. I am nearing 600 days in-game. So you can imagine what's going to happen when the invasion comes at day 700. I believe day 700 is the time when that will happen. So I am going to try and see, maybe I should use my two-handed sword a little bit more, because, you know, raising my proficiency with that is probably a pretty good idea. So I'm going to try and use that a little bit more, but it is going to be a little bit more difficult to actually get in there, because it is a much longer weapon, and having a much longer weapon when dealing with a tight space like this, I mean, I know how it is, so it is going to be a bit difficult for us to squeeze in there, but we're going to make it work, you know, we're going to make it work. Oh, there we go, nice damage. Oh, critical damage as well, critical damage. I only have 166 proficiency with two-handed weapons. That's really very bad, isn't it? That is very bad at this point in the game. We really should have about 250 in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure if I continue to use it, we will eventually get to a suitable proficiency to deal with harder opponents. Anyway, let's see if I can... wow, we've not eliminated that many. I don't even know how many there actually are in the garrison here, but I would assume because I arrived here not very quickly, but I arrived here a bit late, so I would assume that Theon has done a pretty decent job of eliminating the units so far, and I completely missed that guy. He must be very, very proud of himself for that amazing dodge, even though it wasn't really a dodge, it was more my own incompetence, isn't it? Yes, that's usually the way it goes, but it's alright, we're doing absolutely fine, you know. My HP has not been dented, which I'm actually very surprised about. That means that we will continue murdering and slaughtering and all kinds of wonderful things against the Westerlands here. And you know what I'd actually like to see? Because Daenerys is actually a real unit. I believe she is a real unit in the game, so in battle scenarios I can assume that she's going to participate, because in other Game of Thrones mods Daenerys actually doesn't have a role to play. She is not really a combat unit. So it would be pretty interesting to see how she actually reacts and does in combat, and what her stats are like as well, because I have no idea. I have no idea what her stats are like. So maybe it would be cool for us to try and find her. I don't know where she is, but I noticed that Duskendale was under siege, and I thought, okay, we're going to have to help out these guys as best we can. And yeah, so I don't know where she is, but hopefully we'll be able to find her relatively soon. But I don't even think we need to be honest. I don't even think we need to, because we're doing such a good job right here helping out Theon, that hopefully we will then be talked about in House Targaryen and everything, and hopefully our vassals will actually come over as well. Because I am obviously not the marshal anymore. I did give that to Shadrick, because I was hopeful that he might actually be able to do something with it. And also he was getting a bit grumpy, so I decided, hey, let's give him the marshalship, because he is, well, a bit low in relation, and it would be kind of nice to get him a little bit of extra points in that, just to make sure that he's not entirely grumpy. Oh, their heads are going flying right now. Fantastic. Alright, so if I can just... Could I just murder that fellow, please? Because that guy is pretty heavily armored. I don't really want him to go running around slaughtering our forces, if at all possible. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So far so good. Everything seems to be going fantastically. I'm actually kind of surprised that I haven't been focused down just yet. I am the king. I am the king of stumbling after all. So I'm very surprised. A number of our Tiger Elite archers are being eliminated here, but they are only getting knocked unconscious, which is not really a big deal. Nothing to worry about there. And we are slaughtering a lot of enemies. I'm actually kind of surprised about this in general, because I didn't think we would be able to get into the battlements so incredibly easily and quickly. But I suppose the enemies were spread out. Their defensive measures were much more in the attrition style. So if our first wave was defeated, then they're probably going to have a much easier time of dealing with us after that. But yeah, I'm now exhausted, so I probably have to just, rest here for a little bit. Unfortunately, I am being ambushed from multiple sides, so that's obviously going to make things a bit uncomfortable. But thankfully, we'll be able to deal with it. Oh, we have more allies. I was going to say aliens for some reason. I don't know why, but there you go. Aliens. We've got the Vulcans coming up here and saying, hello, this is First Contact. Is Patrick Stewart available? And so on. But yes, the point is, we are actually doing pretty fine, and I believe that that will be it. That will be the end of Duskendale's garrison. Actually, a lot of fun. A lot of fun to participate in vassal-oriented, or shall we say organized, sieges. Because doing it yourself, doing it as the player in a world of ice and fire, is very costly indeed. And having the AI fit the bill, or foot the bill, so to speak, that's a much more comfortable way of doing it. So maybe, if at all possible, we might want to help out Theon and anyone else that instigates a siege going forward. I think that's going to be a pretty cool way to do things, because we get a much more action-packed experience as well, because you can see here that we're running through the streets of Duskendale, we're slaughtering anyone we come across, and we're having a much more fun time than standing outside letting our spies do all the work. even though the spies are apparently not working nowadays. Not entirely sure why that is. Oh, hello. Oh, it seems like we have some problems here, but hopefully our Crown Lands marksman and everything... Oh, yes, did you see that? That Unsullied guy right up there? He decided to get stuck in. Oh, yes. Fantastic. Okay, so there's 28 renown for us. We actually only lost a grand total of 9. Fantastic. Really, really good. And I managed to kill 67. Well, kill 50, but you know what I mean. Take out 50, 67 even. Alright, so that's fantastic. Very, very fun indeed. And House Targaryen has taken Duskendale. That is cool. That is really cool. Okay, so I guess I'm actually just going to wait here for some time. And we're going to just wait until the... yeah, as you can see... Oh, what? What are you doing here? What are you doing here, Dothraki? What are you doing? Okay, I want to make peace. No, I'm not going to make peace, apparently. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. This is very strange. Theon Greyjoy has actually joined us, so he's going to be helping me out. Very nice. Very nice of him. I gotta say, I'm perplexed. Is that the reason why the Dothraki have not been eliminated yet? That must be the reason, because I've been searching for the Dothraki for quite some time, and I had no idea where they were, and then all of a sudden, they are attempting to take Duskendale back, which is insanity. I have no idea why they would decide to do this, to be honest. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually just going to tell our people to... I have no idea. I really don't know. I really don't know what to do. How many cavalry do I have? Only 13, so I guess I will just tell them to charge in, and we will see what our mounted archer division? I don't know whether I really want them to attack the mounted archers. That's really going to result in a lot of unnecessary bloodshed on our side, I think. Probably, at least. But this gives me a good opportunity to practice my two-handed sword on horseback, because obviously I've not used it that often. I'm a bit disgruntled by the fact that this sword does not have crushing against blocks, because I love that stat, and I don't think it has it. Does it? Oh no, maybe I'm getting mixed up now. Oh well, whatever the case. If it doesn't have it, then I'm disappointed, but if it does, then I'm mistaken. Yes, fantastic. Oh well, whatever the case. I suppose we will be doing as we've been doing and just utilizing our Unsullied as much as possible. Ooh, we have Ironborn warriors as well. Nice. Obviously because he is a Greyjoy, I would expect that to be the case for the reason why he has those. But yeah, that's perfectly fine with me. Ironborn warriors are bound to be very, very strong. So happy with that. Otherwise, the enemy has only lost a grand total of 55 so far. I'm actually kind of disappointed by that. It looks like we have eliminated so many more, but apparently that's not the case. That was a feeble attempt at a kill there, wasn't it? Oh well, never mind. Yeah, so this is the main problem with defeating the Dothraki here. They generally tend to have a huge amount of horse archers. And you know me and horse archers, I'm not a big fan of them. I think they are fantastic units, don't get me wrong, you know. But they do tend to drag on the battle considerably. And when you are attempting to, you know, get this guy eliminated as soon as possible, it can be a bit difficult. So... Oh, hello. Seems like there's a whole bunch of units up against the boundary of the battlefield right now. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell everyone to charge in. I'm just going to tell everyone to charge in and throw all caution to the wind, because I think we might have a decent shot of just eliminating these guys straight up without us even having to worry about too much. These guys don't even have lances. If they had lances... Oh, that would be so painful. So painful. It would be very much like reminding me of the horse riding units from Pendor. Who are they again? Oh, I can't remember. I know the Noldor and the... I'm thinking of the Larian Outriders for some reason, but that's not it. That is not it. The... Oh, you know, I can't remember for the life of me. Can't remember. Well... That's what happens, you know, that's what happens when you are my age, you know, that's what happens. Your mind just starts to go, oh well, never mind. I'm racking my brain as well. I'm gonna consistently be thinking about that for the rest of the episode. Just think about that. Think about how poor of a person I am to be forgetting the name of that thing. Oh well, whatever the case. I'm sure someone is gonna tell me because it's been a while since I played Pendor, so... Ah, there we go. I've remembered, yes, the Jatu. The Jatu, yes. If the Dothraki had lancers, they would remind me of the Jatu wholeheartedly. And don't worry, that cut that you just saw, it was basically 3 hours later. No, it wasn't 3 hours later. Almost. It was about 3 minutes, actually, before I remembered what their name was. Oh well, whatever the case, I think we're pretty good here. Yeah, I think we've defeated them. There's only 24, 23, and counting enemies remaining. And then we will have, hopefully, a bit of an elimination on our hands. Alright, well, there it is. We were managing to eliminate the enemy, and all of them have been taken out. Fantastic. Oh. I thought all of them had been taken out, but apparently not. Well, I guess we're just going to tell our people to charge in without us. And we can technically take him prisoner, but I'm not going to do that. Just going to let him go. And we will be taking all of these prisoner. Thank you very much. Because as we've seen, prisoners do tend to sell for a lot of money. And if you can get them in a critical mass kind of situation, you're going to be set for quite a while. And we do have a lot in Carthagar, by the way, so I might need to spend a little bit of time transferring prisoners from Carthagar over to Volantis and then just waiting for a ransom broker there if needed. Now, I'm going to ask you another question. This question pertains to what we should do next. Do we want to send a spy? As you can see here, a spy actually does not work, apparently, because I'm right-clicking on these things and I can't send a spy for whatever reason. Don't know why that is. But apparently it's not working for some reason. Don't know. Anyway, point is, do we stay around here helping out Theon, helping out House Targaryen in general, or do you want us to return back to Essos and eliminate Pentos, eliminate Norvos, and so on and so forth? Can I send a spy there? Yeah, look at that. You can. Well, I already have a spy there, but Norvos, as you can see, can't do anything with them. Cohor, no, can't do anything with them either. Interesting. Have spies been disabled for me? I don't know. But whatever the case, those are the two questions, well, shall we say, the two answers that I am seeking from you. So if you'd like to give me your opinion, then by all means. If you wouldn't, then that's absolutely fine as well. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. I very much did. I thought it was, yes, it was very, very enjoyable to see what's going on in Duskendale and actually participate in a siege for once. Anyway, I thank you very much for joining me and for watching, and I will see you next time.